I absolutely believe are no man's land when it comes to the most effective offers that you could be running for your gym. You've got opportunity cost. If you're running one offer, it means you're arguably not running another, particularly if you're doing it on things like paid ads. We are not in 2016 anymore, Toto. If you want to grow and scale your gym as fast, efficiently, effectively as possible, typically that's going to mean utilizing paid ads as part of the strategy. Just dramatically underperform other options. James broke my beliefs on a lot of stuff. Probably owns one of, if not the most successful single location, truly semi-private training facility, independently owned on planet Earth. The first location was like 700, 600, 700, 800 members, paying upwards of $500 a month. He grew the lion's share of that business with.
Welcome to the Gym Member Machine Podcast.
Beautiful people. Welcome to the Gym Member Machine Podcast. Today we're talking low barrier offers, LBOs. 21 days for $21, the classic $99 to $149 1 month trial. They're supposed to be the safe middle ground, easier to sell than premium, more committed than free. Turns out they might be the worst of both worlds. Today, we're breaking down why LBOs might be costing you money and what to do instead. GR, what does LBO even stand for?
Oh, I gotta apologize in advance for all my friends that love LBOs, and we'll talk about some situations where I think they do make sense for gym owners. But before we do that, yes, we must define them. So LBOs are many of you are familiar with them. It just stands for low barrier offer, right? These are your kind of traditional 21 for 21, 21 for 99, 14 for 99, typically priced somewhere between 21 and 149 or 199 bucks. It's going to be a time limited challenge with a finite duration. Again, typically anywhere from 14 to 30, sometimes 6 weeks, but typically 14 to 30 days. Most common being something in that range. That's what an LBO is, right? Your typical situation as the gym owner is the buying proposition for you to actually sell LBOs in your gym is, oh, I have an easy thing for someone to say yes to, give them a little taste of what you do within your facility. And then at the end of whatever that time period is, you hopefully close them into whatever your membership might be.
So, all right. So you give them a little taste. It's like the sample. You get a sample from Costco, and maybe you want to buy the whole shebang. As you said at the beginning, we know smart people and have even partnerships with the smart people that recommend LBOs. So maybe if you wouldn't mind talking us through where you think they might actually make sense.
Yeah. So the spoiler alert for the gym owners that are listening to this is I absolutely believe that LBOs are no man's land for lots and lots and lots of contexts when it comes to the most effective offers that you could be running for your gym. You've got opportunity cost, right? If you're running one offer, it means you're arguably not running another, particularly if you're doing it on things like paid ads or what have you. Now, where I do think LBOs can potentially make sense is in situations where you have maybe a referral coming in, you've got community engagement type events, your organic partnerships, maybe an LBO can make sense. And to be very clear, I don't think LBOs are necessarily wrong in every context. There are gyms that have grown to a relatively significant amount or a relatively significant level by utilizing LBOs. But we are not in 2016 anymore, Toto. And particularly if you want to grow and scale your gym as fast, efficiently, effectively as possible, typically that's going to mean utilizing paid ads as part of the strategy. LBOs just dramatically underperform other options.
And JR, you mentioned Toto, and that's from the classic movie, The LBOs of Oz, where GR says, I have a feeling we're not in 2016 anymore, Toto. So explain that. Well, what does that mean?
Yeah, so here's the deal, right? Like when we were growing up in our gyms, like I remember initially growing the dungeon. Yes, those of you that have listened to the first episode have heard about my first gym and how I super intelligently named it Dungeon Strength Conditioning because I was so cool and so jacked. Both of those I think are false. But yeah, you grow it off of, the days of Groupon in 2011 and 2012, and then LBOs are the thing. 21 days for $21. We ended up having most of our growth on something that was more adjacent to our membership at the time, because we were a large group facility for the lion's share of the time that I was actually still living in Minnesota. And we grew it off of we had two options. We had like 3 times a week that was 147 for the first 30 days. And we had an unlimited option that was like 187 or something like that. And we sold it like crazy, right? Now, the reason I say we're not in 2016 anymore is, dude, I remember this was probably 2013, 2013 or 2014 when I ran my first ads, and it was like shitty, cheesy ads for the 30-day like Fit Mom challenge or whatever it was, and not amazing ads, right? Like good copy, but not amazing ads, quite cheesy. And we were running direct messenger ads. I mean, we had like 21 people reach out on DMs. I had my mom literally responding to people with one copy and pasted message that was like, here's the stuff you get. Reply with "I'm in" to save your spot. We'll get you booked for your orientation. Like 19 people replied, "I'm in." Those 19 people showed up for a group consult. I closed like 19 on day one on like $200 of ad spend. And so, like, dude, even do that math. Even if I was selling 21 days for $21, you're still making money, right? Like 20 people times 21, you're still cash flow positive on that first chunk. Now, we happen to be selling things a little bit more expensive, but those days are freaking over in terms of, the cost to advertise and the cost to get leads, the responsiveness of the marketplace as a whole, the trust of the marketplace after being burned into the ground with fake free 6-week challenges, right? People just don't believe and respond to gym marketing the way they used to, even not going back to 2016, but even 2018 and 2019, 2020, like that responsiveness has sort of continued to decrease for a while. And so now you're in a situation where gym owners are having to spend more upfront to get the leads that they used to get. By and large, right? That's a trend across the board. Advertising is getting more expensive. Because of that, either they say, all right, I'm going to keep running the LBOs, whether it's 147 is a pretty high priced LBO, even in comparison to what people are doing now. Either your higher price thing, you might be selling it at 99. You might still be doing 21 for 21 or 14 for 14, whatever it is. But either you say, I am okay losing money on the front end, or you have to change what you're selling. That's, hey, we're not in 2016 anymore. The other side of this is the gym space is more competitive to advertise in than ever, even just from an offers perspective. So let's take cost out of it. Let's say it costs the same that it does to advertise to get leads that it did in 2016, 2014, pick a year. That those leads are less responsive overall. They are more, I don't know what the word is. It's like freaking played out on offers. They're numb to offers than they used to be back in the day. And so what might have been super compelling 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 5 years ago, 21 days for $99, 14 for 99, 14 for 99, whatever it is not as compelling anymore to the overall marketplace. So you're in a situation where you've got, it's more expensive to advertise than it was back when we started this thing. We're also advertising to a marketplace that is less responsive than they were when we started this thing, when these were like the deal to get people in. It's not helping us sell more people, right? People are less responsive to these types of offers. And so you've just got this like lose, lose, lose situation across the board, particularly if you're a gym that is struggling on cash, trying to get some growth with paid ads. You've hit your referral ceiling. Like you're going to have to do something different in order to really make things move.
The thing that stands out to me in a big time is that 2026 is way different than 2016 on many factors that just make it harder for us as gym owners, whether it's advertising platforms, competition, trust of the market, cost per lead, immunity for our clients to seeing all these offers, being kind of numb to it. So let's get into the problem with LBOs overall.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about two of the big problems. So two of the big problems are just that, look, it's going to cost more for you to advertise. And if you're going to be profitable up front on your advertisement, you're going to have to sell something different because you're just not going to be able to collect enough cash, typically, if you're in the average market, to be able to be cash flow positive in month one, maybe in some cases month two, if you're running LBOs. The other thing, and this is a thing that I think people miss. So my big gripe with LBOs is the skill gap required to sell people into a higher price thing. Whether you do, like we teach a lot of our people to do, we call it right price right away, right? So we like to get our clients to be able to sell at their membership price right away. Let's sell the main thing, keep the main thing, and be able to sell at that price right from the jump, right from the first meeting, the first consult, starting point session, whatever you call your initial sales conversation with the client. Let's sell them on that. Or a higher price thing. So my favorite offer is, by and large, I think lots of offers work. We're somewhat offer agnostic, but probably my favorite offer structure overall, if you put a gun in my head and told me I had to pick one, would be a contrasting A/B, where option A is a higher priced 6-week thing, right? So this is all going to depend on your price point. I've got math formulas somewhere that we could share at some point because I figured out the math on it. Needs to be this much more, this percentage more than your membership. Multiply your weekly membership price by like 7 to 10, I think is what it was, which I think actually works out. So if your monthly membership is $100 a week, you're a small group, semi-private training facility, you need to be charging somewhere between $700 and $1,000, right? For your 6-week option A, if you will. That is your higher priced option. So what I'd recommend for somebody that's charging $99 a week on the back end would probably be to go up to the upper range of that. We're going to use buyer psychology to try to find the buying decision. You say, what does that mean? Well, okay, dude, if someone's going to buy at $7.95, is that person not going to buy at $9.95? If they're going to buy at $8.95, or they're not going to buy at $9.95, like, I don't know. Like, I'm willing to be anywhere in there. We also want to think about what we want to incentivize people to do. And so I want people to buy the membership. And so I'm going to make the membership more enticing. And that means I'm going to be closer to that 10x mark of our average weekly bill, which will put me at $9.95, $9.99, $9.97. Pick a number, okay? Marketers say all these different weird things. So $9.99, $1,000, literally don't care for your initial 6-week thing. But we want it to be a nice high ticket deal, and we want it to create a lot of contrast with your standard membership. So the way this would look in practice would be, okay, option A is our, blankety blank total transformation 6-week. It doesn't matter what you call it. It includes this, that, and the other. And the investment for the 6-week program is $9.99. Right? Pick a number. Option 2, if you feel like we're the long-term answer to health and fitness problems, you can join the Dave Rasco Fitness family. That includes this, and that. The investment for that is $99 a week, and you get all the benefits of the 6-week thing for free. Which one of those makes the most sense to you? Like, that's your close. That's your offer. What do we think people are going to do when we do that? Well, they're probably going to freaking buy your weekly membership, right? They're going to go right in to the right price right away. My issue, we're going to tie it back. We're working it back. The issue here is that the skill to be able to execute on a $99 a week sale, a $69 a week sale, right? Most gyms probably aren't charging $400 a month. So $69 a week, it annualizes to $299 a month. But the skill to sell into whatever your membership is not nearly as much of a gap to clear as the financial gap that you create by selling the LBO. So like the skill gap of selling from 14 days for $99 to $300-$400 is really not that high, but the financial gap is freaking big. And so my like hypothesis on why LBOs became so popular is like, it's maybe not super easy to teach sales or learn how to sell really well. And so guru companies didn't necessarily know how to do it. And I'm not talking about our strategic partners. I think they're amazing at teaching people how to sell. The other side is, dude, people back in the day in the guru space, they wanted to be able to say, I signed up 33 people in 2 weeks on my LBO. Wait, how much did you make? Well, I made $600 and I paid the guru company $6,000. And I spent $800 on ads. that sounds like a pretty shitty deal. Like maybe you shouldn't have done that. So like, I think part of it was just the gurus not knowing how to teach people how to sell. And then the gurus running a really nice upfront testimonial. Maybe it's one of those things, but the skill to price gap is just not worth selling the LBO. It's just straight up isn't. From a marketing perspective, you don't see we in fact see a lower cost per lead doing either what we call general curiosity driven ads, where we just harp on, we work with a lot of small group and semi-private training gyms, one-on-one gyms. If we just harp on the premium side, premium personal training, et cetera, somewhat offer agnostic, you'll get the same or a better cost per lead than you would marketing your LBO. So it doesn't make sense from a marketing perspective. It doesn't really make that much sense from a sales perspective. You don't have to be that much better to be able to sell a significantly more expensive thing. It's just a skill deficit that is very easily overcome with a little bit of coaching or a little bit of work on your end. And you collect more cash up front. So when you collect more cash up front, now you can afford, now you might be cash flow positive month one on your advertising. If you're cash flow positive month one on your advertising and you get people into memberships and your churn is healthy, all of a sudden you're stacking money month after month after month after month. You're not having to have the second sale conversations that LBOs require, because that's the thing I haven't talked about yet. You saw a 14-day for $99. Well, what has to happen between day 1 and day 14 to convert that person into a membership? You got to chase them down. Right. Same thing with a 6-week deal. It doesn't matter. This isn't just limited to LBOs. This is an issue with any front end sale that is not the actual main membership. You got to run those people down. If they don't show up, they don't do the thing, then they're not buying the membership. So I'd much rather sell the membership up front if we can do it. So you get more cash, you can afford to go spend more money on ads. You have a chance to do the whole Dan Kennedy advantage, right? So Dan Kennedy's number one rule is like, he who can spend the most money, he who can spend the most money to acquire a customer wins, right? So if I can spend more money than you and you're my competitor to go get a customer, I can just snuff you out of the market by outspending your ass, right? That's kind of a fun thought and idea. If you're selling LBOs, it's very hard to do that unless you've just got tons of money in the bank and you're going to lose money.
So let's say I believe you here. Let's say I trust that LBOs might not be the best thing for me to convert. You've mentioned the right price right away or the contrasting A/B. Is that the only options I have? What else could I possibly do here?
No, so we called it the murky middle, right, or no man's land. Well, if we're here in the murky middle in the LBO, and then we talk about the higher price, more premium stuff, and selling people into the right price right away, or into some sort of higher ticket program, that would be up here at the top. But the other side that I think is honestly way the heck more effective also than LBOs in a different way. It shares some of the same issues as LBOs, but I think makes up for those issues in effectiveness is an actual free, right? So going from LBO to NBO. NBOs, no, like there's barriers to every offer. Yeah, I kind of like it. I think you came up with that. So here's the deal, right? Like your LBOs are not a compelling enough thing in most cases. Like you may be sitting there as a gym owner in an uncompetitive market, or you've got this crazy reputation for being super expensive, and you run an LBO and it freaking crushes, and people that are coming in from cold traffic. That's the important thing. It's freaking cold traffic. People that are coming in from cold traffic that don't know you, like you, trust you, if they've not been referred, etc. They see your 21 days or 14 days for $99 and they're like, oh my gosh, that's such an amazing deal. There is a chance that there are some of you that are sitting in that seat and dealing with that situation. By and large, across the board, again, we're working with, what do we say? I know we've got to update this number, 380, 360 plus gyms, whatever the heck the number is today as we're recording this. Like, we've seen this data, so we know by and large where this sort of shakes out. It's not compelling enough to make the person on the other side just say, oh, screw it, I'm doing it. Right? I used to call it, if we're going to cuss on the podcast, I used to call it prices. Like, we're not selling priced things. Okay. And so your LBO, you're still going to have to take skill to get the person in. People are going to be asking, what's the price? Some people are going to make this comparison between your 14 for $99, 21 for $190, like whatever the heck your thing is. They're going to be making the comparison between the shitty stuff they've done in the past that has obviously failed them. Otherwise they wouldn't be looking for a gym, and whatever you're charging. It's like, and a lot of times those comparisons aren't great. I paid $99 for a boot camp before and I got shitty results and a shitty experience. Why would I pay $99 again? That doesn't make a lot of sense. And so my counter argument for going right price right away, where and we're actually trying this at GMM at this point, is going truly no barrier offer, where you're giving people the thing for free, right? And this is where you get into you said like free, like that sounds scary. Like
Free.
I thought free people, you hear this all the time, like the objections to doing the free stuff. Like there are smart people that say, oh yeah, I just don't do free things. Like it's going to be a bunch of tire kickers. Like we don't want those type of people in the facility and blah, 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 like all that stuff. Well, let me tell you about a little fella by the name of James Pratt. If you've been following our social, freaking Billy Biceps, James Pratt, he's freaking jacked and handsome, and I love him so much. But James broke my beliefs on a lot
Good
of stuff.
genetics.
Is that what it is? James broke my beliefs on a lot of stuff. So if you don't know James, he's secretly one of the smartest people in the industry. I don't think he's famous enough for what he's accomplished. Probably owns, at least to my knowledge, one of, if not the most successful single location, truly semi-private training facility, independently owned on planet Earth. Like he's now doing multiple locations, but the first location was like 700, 600, 700, 800 members paying upwards of 500 a month. And he grew the lion's share of that business with free 30-day trials. This isn't for my freaking, gym launch addict and other. I pick on gym launch a lot. Gym launch wasn't the only people that were doing the fake free BS. I know they're still doing it. There were hundreds of copycats that tried to do the same stuff. Some of them, I watched their podcast recently, and now they're trying to say, oh yeah, this was stupid. Like, dude, y'all were running the same thing for clients. I don't know why you're talking shit about it now. I called this shit back in 2018. I have ads talking shit on why the fake free bait and switch stuff was such a bad idea. And I've got receipts. Look, James did not do the bait and switch stuff. So this is a true free 30-day trial. Like you're going to come in and you're going to use this and abuse this for 30 days. Maybe there's a fast action offer, right? Somewhere in that time period, but it is a 30-day free trial. We ran their pre-sale for their second facility. Free 30-day trial was the offer, which is really scary if you're a marketing company and you need your clients to make money, or else they're going to fire you when you don't have them on long-term contracts. Spoiler alert, GMM, everything's on a 30-day cancellation. You cancel whatever the heck you want. Yes, we've still had 2 to 3% churn on average for like the past 6 years now since we've been tracking it. They ran a free 30-day thing to open their second location. They were full, like 140, 150 members within 4 months, 6 months, whatever the heck it was. Like they absolutely crushed that pre-sale with the second location. Free 30-day trials, selling people into $500 plus a month memberships. Were those people tire kickers? Or was the product just really stinking good? Was the service just really stinking good? Like, again, James completely broke my beliefs on this thing. Because to be fair to the gym owners listening to this, you tell me free 30-day trial, I don't know, in some alternate universe where I don't know who James Pratt is, I'm probably like, no, that sounds stupid. Like you're giving away too much, right? Free 7 days is totally fine. A free session, whatever. Like you're going to get a bunch of tire kickers. They're not going to stay. You're not going to convert them into a high price membership. Like you're not Planet Fitness. Like this is stupid. No. And then we've now tested it with other gyms, like getting more aggressive with some of their free offers. And you've got to have some qualifiers to be able to do that and do it well. But it works right now. It's a compelling thing. Am I telling you to go out and run ads for a free 30-day trial like GMM is right now? Literally, we might take it down, but we'll see. No. But what I'm saying is, look, if you've got cash, right? Because the only way you would consider running an LBO for your paid ad strategies in particular is if you've got enough cash runway to survive a couple months of ad spend, not bearing a ton of fruit, right? Just giving you prospects and not buyers or members. Okay, gosh, what's going to be more compelling? 21 for $99 or a 21-day free thing or a 30-day free, a free month? 14 days free, I think you start to get into the realm of, hey, everyone's kind of doing that. But we still have people that are running 14 days free, 7 days free and doing really well with that. And guess what? The nice thing there, the benefit to doing something that's actually free is your sales conversations. And I'm considering everything a sale. So, your booking conversations are easier. It's more compelling to get the person to actually show up for their consult with you, their starting point with you, whatever it is you're doing, because they're coming in to claim something free. They're not coming in to buy something. Like all of those things create, number one, a more compelling offer for your prospect to sign up for in the first place, right? 21 days free, 30 days free, 14 days free is more compelling than either of those things being paid. Number two, follow-up person does not have to have nearly as much skill on the phone, whatever you want to call it. Like the counterpoint, the counter argument to selling a more premium thing right up front is, look, you've got to be really good at objection overcomes and be really good on the phone to be able to get somebody to come in on that type of situation. You're going to have some layups that are just easy, and they want to come in and feel things out, and they get that you're not going to talk about the price until you actually look under the hood, so to speak. But you're going to have situations where you can talk about the price or talk around the price, give objection overcomes. This will probably be a whole nother episode for how do I get somebody to show up when they ask about price and still not like get us compared based on that information. Spoiler alert, little tangent. People will evaluate you based on whatever information you give them. And if you give them price information before they have full context on what makes your business so different, you're probably going to lose that battle, right? A lot of our clients would lose that battle because they're more expensive than any number of alternatives, probably most gyms in their area, right? Arguably because they're better, but I can go get classes at the Y or Planet Fitness or whatever it is for $50 a month or $30 a month, or what does a banana cost, right? Like I can get fitness classes way cheaper than a premium small group or semi-private, even a large group training gym, CrossFit type gym. I can go get some of those services cheaper elsewhere. And so we want to push off the pricing conversation for as long as we can until the prospect actually has full context on why we're so different. We understand their problems. We're inserting our service as the vehicle to get them from where they are to where they want to go. And there is no logical alternative, right? No other logical alternative than signing on the dotted line with us, right? We'll do those things in a separate episode, but you've got to have more skill on the phone to get somebody to come in for a paid thing, right? If we want to remove that friction and just have more people coming through, then free makes it really easy. So what's it cost after the fact? Oh, we got lots of options. Look, the goal is for you to use us and abuse us for 7, 14, 21, 30 days free, whatever your, offer duration is. Worst case scenario, you learn some stuff that you can go off and do on your own when you're done. Best case scenario, you find your new fitness family, change your life forever, whatever, right? Like that's a way easier thing for even a less skilled salesperson to say than, let me do the doctor frame. I'm just a front desk person, and it's like the doctor's office. And you call the doctor's office, they're not going to be able to tell you. The front desk person won't be able to tell you if you need surgery or a shot or rest on your knee. You got to talk to the doctor for that. There's mechanic frames, like there's all these different sales frames. It takes more skill to do those things when they know they're going to come in and have to buy something. When it's free, it's just like, oh, well, that does sound really easy to say yes to. I think I might just go ahead and say yes. Now, the other downsides that we talked about with LBOs, might you have to have a second sale conversation? Yes, potentially. Although we have had very successful gyms do what we call a Netflix close, where it's like your first, you have the entire sales conversation up front, and maybe it's a 14-day trial, it doesn't matter. And so you got 14 days free. After on day 15, you'll move into your membership, which is X cost. If at any point you decide you don't want to continue, just let us know during your trial. We'll take care of you, never charge you a penny. Like, that's great. You can do a Netflix close, you can do fast action offers, you can do all sorts of different things, which again, to be fair to LBOs, like you can do that same stuff with LBOs. It's just, again, this is where we'll go to the inverse. So in comparison to selling higher price things, the financial gain that you get from going from LBO to a high price thing is much higher than the skill required to be able to sell that higher price thing. And the marketing loss that you get from going from LBO to a more premium thing is a lot of times nothing, right? You almost typically, like our clients, get improved marketing when going from LBOs to more general, or, you're not going to put a high ticket price in an ad, but a more general, curiosity driven type offer. Well, you go to the inverse for the free thing. So with the free thing, you're going to lose some cash up front. typically. And we could get deeper on the free thing. Like we've got free offers that we help people collect money on without being bait and switchy at all. If that makes sense. If you think we can go into that, we can. But with the free offer, the financial loss that you get from going from collecting your $99, your $21 or 21, whatever cash you were going to collect in the LBO is more than made up for on the lack of friction that you get from having a more compelling offer on the marketing side. So more leads, more people, and easier conversations, more automatic bookings because the offer's so compelling on the follow-up side. And then, yeah, like is your closing rate probably going to be close to the same or a little bit higher on your free thing over your LBO? Yeah, probably. And then you say, well, is the conversion from LBO to my membership going to be worse? So I don't think so. So this is where we get into the psychology of free versus paid. So number one, again, if James Pratt taught us anything, it's that offering something for free does not determine whether or not someone's going to convert on the other side, even if it's super expensive. Most gyms that are listening to this are probably not charging the prices that James charges, and yet he's still converting people at really ridiculous rates, right, off of this free 30 days. So my argument is your conversion will be at minimum the same. I would argue it's probably better. And that's because of the psychology that comes with selling something, actually agreeing to sell something at a price that is less than what the thing is worth. So if you go to Costco and you get a free sample, right? You're walking around, you're getting samples. It's like you get that it's a sample, right? You understand that this is not a meal. I'm not getting fed, what have you. Like I'm just getting sampled. Like how many of us are monsters? And like, do people just walk around and say like, I'm going to go get my whole meal at Costco. Like to better have those samples out and like, just know they're going to get paid. Like, no, that's stupid. Like, I don't think, maybe people do that. Maybe that's a bad example. You got a confession? Please, hit us with your confession.
I mean, in college, there were a few lean times where the sample aisle at Costco was a welcome meal, but I digress. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed.
Just come around in disguises. Like, oh, now I've got sunglasses on. You bring wigs and shit
this time.
Yeah. So here's more on the psychology, right? People know if you're giving away a free sample, like it's a sample. Okay. Like they know this isn't what you charge continuously. You are not a charity. You're a business. And so when you offer the thing for free, I know at some point, if I want to continue, I'm going to have to pay something. But if you charge me for the thing, now you as the business owner are telling me what you think this service is worth. So if your 21-day jumpstart, it was a really famous one from back in the day, your 14-day this or what have you, you are now getting your prospects to attach that monetary value to the service they are receiving for the time period they're receiving it. And if you've not had a conversation on what this looks like after, you're going to get way more sticker shock than someone who is doing it free for a given period of time. Because the person who's doing it free understands there's going to be a cost. Maybe they don't know what it is. Maybe they do, depending on how you've structured the offer. An LBO, you just say, oh yeah, first 21 days is $99. And the only way they're going to know what it costs is what happens after that. Like, I think you're probably going to have at least the same, probably better conversion off of people doing a free thing than they will for the paid thing, which in my mind starts to sort of drop the utility, the potential use cases for LBOs. Because I don't know how many agencies there are that are bigger than us at this point that have worked with more gyms than we had and had more long-term partnerships with clients. There's people that have worked with more gyms than us for sure. Right. Well, we work with 4,000 gyms. Yeah. You churned them all. Like how many are left? But I would make the argument that we've got quite a bit of data, and I don't think you can make an argument to me based on the data that says an LBO is going to outperform for the typical gym that does not have a freaking $500,000 of cash in the bank account to just burn through on ads. Is going to do better with an LBO versus a right price right away or a higher ticket offer, right? On the other side, to me, the best use cases for the LBOs would be, hey, I'm at an event, I'm speaking at the freaking Rotary Club, And I want to give these people something to do that's, again, a lower barrier than just signing up for a membership, right? Like that makes sense to me in a way. However, wouldn't we get more people to say yes if it were free? Wouldn't it be a more
Right.
compelling offer if it was free? And so just I sort of see this decreasing utility of the LBO where I'd really rather be either super low on the price, meaning freaking zero, or I'd rather be, I say, really high. Like we're not really high in the gym space, but I'd rather be at our right price, right away type memberships where we're collecting more cash up front so we can be cash flow positive month one and go and turn that money into more clients, right? So I see a decreasing utility for LBOs. I think they still have their place to a certain extent. You could make the argument that people who pay more attention, which like, well, great, make them pay for a membership and not the freaking LBO, you know? But also you're going to have the same shit with your LBO. They're not like paying a ton of money. You're not creating the level of accountability with a $99 14-day trial that paying $150 a session does for a personal trainer, right? Like how many people, I know you've done some high ticket personal training stuff, Dave. Like how many of your high ticket personal training people just like miss sessions that they paid for? Probably not very many. Like how many people miss sessions back in the day when we're charging like $12 a session for a large group, group class, like miss all the time. So you're going to have the same problems, I think, with the LBO as you do with the free folks. I think the uncomfortable thing that we have to look ourselves in the mirror with is really kind of all comes down to your product. How good is your
Right.
service?
And GR, you've mentioned in the past that like, if you suck, you're not going to convert anyone, which our lovely clients don't. They're all the type of people we work with. These are independent, educated meatheads. They're well educated and trained in strength and conditioning. They do a great job. They really give a shit and care about their clients, and they want to do a great job. They have a growth mindset. And so that is less often a problem for our people, but it is something to consider if you are doing this free offer and your conversion is not great, that the product might be somewhere you might want to look.
Yeah. I mean, we've got enough data at this point that if people aren't converting off of a free thing, there's a place to look, and it's the mirror. Which, like, I say this with a certain level of empathy. Like we're literally testing free offers for GMM right now, and it was like, well, do we really want to do this? Like, this sounds risky. Da 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 da. And so now we're like, we're putting the onus on our product. So we know what's out there, and you guys can take this parallel and apply it to fitness, apply it to your local communities. Like we know what's out there in the space, and we know that it's probably kind of hard to tell for the typical gym owner or the typical fitness client what makes your gym, what makes our agency so different than everyone else, because everyone kind of says the same stuff. Yeah, we do this, that, and the other, and it's all kind of the same. Yeah, we do intelligently progress, customized strength training, like da 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 da. Yeah, everyone says the same shit. Like we're the coaching community. Look, oh my god, right? Don't get me started. Well, it'd probably be a lot easier if we just show you, right, how we're different, and make it really easy for you to say yes to try things out. And now it's up to us and our product and our service on the other side to create a result or an experience. In the case of a gym, it can be result and experience for them that makes you say, yeah, like I'm going to create long-term partnerships with these people for my health or for the health of my business. And so like, I think it's a tough look in the mirror. One thing I didn't say is, well, would you run free 30-day ads for like the typical gym? Is that going to be the next big thing or whatever? No, look, I think I do think you can get away and do very well with free 7, free 14-day, like those more time limited free offers. So number one, we teach a thing called 122, and you can do 248. It's the same way. That's an offer structure that you can use to collect cash on month one or on day one. Sorry. Even if you do Netflix close, if you close people into your membership on a 14-day free trial, you're still collecting cash up front, right? It's probably about the same that you'd collect for an LBO that is less than 30 days, right? A 21 or a 14-day LBO, yeah, you should be collecting the membership on a given number of people, giving you a little bit more cash in that first month to be fair to both of those arguments. I would not do a free 30-day if you're not sitting on a bunch of cash, particularly on paid ads, because you are by definition going to be losing money month one unless you can create a really compelling reason for that person to sign up. So for us, the way we've structured it at GMM, what we're testing is, okay, option A is free and you're going to get the full service and whatever else, and you're going to move into our regular higher price thing. Like, we're not the cheapest game in town. Option B, if you already feel like we're the answer and you want a lifetime discount, right? This lifetime best rate that saves you a good chunk of money. If you plan on sticking around for a while, you can sign up for that today, right? Which one makes the most sense? I think there may be some bonuses or whatever on the second one, but like, that's a way we've had at least one person take us up on buying on day one. Are we bait and switching? Absolutely not. If you want to use this and abuse this for the free 30 days, like, you can absolutely do that. And the secondary offer, what happens after day 30 is like our fair, this is actually what we charge, what have you. If I was a gym doing it and you wanted to borrow that structure, I think you could do it and get away with it. You've just got to create a compelling enough discount on day one, which means your regular prices then have to be high enough. They have to be high enough to where your discounted rate that you would offer these people to sign up for on day one still allows you to hit the profit margins that you're trying to hit. But you can't discount yourself and say, okay, we're just going to do break-even pricing we're going to do a 20% lifetime discount if you sign up today, or you can take the 30-day free trial and pay the regular memberships after. Which one, sounds best to you? You can't do that if that 20% discount eats up all of your margin that you would have had for those clients, right? That makes zero sense. You can't do that. You're better off just training the person for free for a month and then closing them into your regular membership afterwards. The other way, where you can run a free offer on the ads front, is to do that 122 or 248. I'll go over it briefly and we'll probably do a deeper episode on specific offer structures in the future. But 122 and 248 is basically 1 week, 2 months, or 1 week, 2 weeks, or 2 months free. So the way we would present that is, you get to the end of you're about to make the pitch on your offer. Okay, Dave, so we obviously got the free 7-day thing you came on. I've got a couple other things that give you a little bit more free for your money. You open to exploring those at all? You say, well, yeah, I'm still going to sign up for the 7-day thing, you dummy, but sure. So, okay, cool. So option 1 is the free 7 days. Like, that's awesome. Option 2, if you do feel like we're the long-term answer to your health and fitness problems, yes, I say that all the time, then you get this, and this. And when you sign up today, you get 50% off your first month, so like 2 weeks free instead of 1. Option 3, if you want the best value, is you can get this, and this. You can sign up for, basically do 2 months free. I don't care if you do buy 12, get 2, or buy 10, get 2, either one, but you're going to do some sort of paid in full offer where, if we make the math really easy and just say you're charging $200 a month, they're going to pay, $2,400 or $2,000, right? $2,400 for 12 months and they get 2 free. So they pay for 12, they get 14, or they pay for 12, or they pay for 10 and get 12, right? So you get this, and this, best value, and you get these bonuses as a thank you if you decide to do that one. So which one makes the most sense to you? 1 week, 2 weeks, or 2 months free? Ask it in those words. Don't say which one, the free week, 50% off the first month, or buying 10 months today. So which one makes the most sense to you? 1 week, 2 weeks, or 2 months free? I guess I'll take the week. Like, what happens there? So we used to have people doing this. Like, this was one of our main offers that we had gyms try years ago. We've moved into doing some different stuff now. We've got a bunch of different stuff that works. But what we saw is the folks that were really good, or the folks that were solid, I should say, folks that were solid were getting upwards of 70+% of those people that came in for the free week to buy on day one. Most of those were on the 50% off the first month. So they're right into a membership. It's auto renewing. You're collecting some cash, right, on day one, which is nice, liquidating some of that ad spend. You'd have like 3 to 7% that would take you up on the paid in full, which is good and bad. Like, you want to make sure that that's a healthy number. Most people won't take it, but it's nice as an anchor. And the only folks that would struggle and get everybody taking the free thing is the folks that were just awful at sales. And how do you know they were offered? because we freaking coach up. We watch the recordings. We know what's going on. And you've got some people that just were not capable. I'm not going to say can't, but they couldn't close their way out of a paper bag. And if they let us coach them and they use the resources that we have for them at GMM, like all of a sudden they start collecting money on the front end, right on their free offer. And guess what? Are you baiting and switching anybody? No, you're giving them the option to take another offer on day one and still offer them the main thing they came in on. And if they take the free week or the free 14 days, whatever it is, the free 14 days is the same structure. It's just basically, your 2 weeks or 4 weeks. You do it as a month and you discount it over the life of their membership. It's a different thing. The math is harder. Or 2, 4, 8, or 2 months free. It's just the same concept, right? 8 weeks, 2 months. So you're just making the numbers bigger. But yeah, like folks would end up collecting money on day one, which makes that a very viable play for paid ads because you're collecting a somewhat more significant amount of cash on day one. So long story short, do I recommend everyone goes out and starts running ads for free 30-day offers? Absolutely not. I do love the free 30-day offer for really like sniper driven reactivations, reactivating your list.
We have sort of talked a good amount about the LBOs, and I love how you're questioning the conventional wisdom with a very logical, reasoned approach. And to me, it does make a lot of sense about the no man's land of the LBO. I think the offers, we should do a full deep dive in the future on the 122 and other offers. I would probably say we go into the like an action step of, okay, if let's say you've been running LBOs, what's like step one to at least test the waters of, either the 30-day free thing or the, maybe selling right in a membership, which you sort of touched on a little bit there of how you might start with a reactivation for a free 30 days. And maybe in the future, we can go into a real deep dive of like the step-by-step of execution of what that looks like.
So number one, right? The gym owner says, well, I've been running an LBO. Like, what should I do? What should I do now? Like the number one thing is if it's working for you, great. You're making enough cash, you're profitable, you're able to put enough money into marketing where you're growing at the pace and the velocity that you want. You don't have to change things, right? Like the stuff still kind of works. I just argue that there's probably lots of things that work better. And so if you're not on the struggle bus, hey man, you can keep running the thing and doing what you want. That's great. And I love that for you, like genuinely, Now, if you say, it's like, it's going, but it's just kind of like going and it just kind of works on, my referrals and maybe some website traffic. And I really would like to be able to put some money into marketing and grow without it, depending on my time, energy, and talent. Well, yeah, then you're going to want to potentially make some changes. What I would say is it probably depends on what the constraint is. And so if you've been running ads and you're comfortable doing that, or you're working with an agency, like PS, we might still have spots for the free 30 days at GMM. So you should totally book a call at Gym Member Machine and mention that you heard the free offer on the podcast and see if we can help you, because we can look at your situation, look at your data, talk through things, strategize with you, and figure out the best offer for you, because it may not be the things that we're saying right now. But you're already running ads, what have you. You can move to what we call a curiosity-driven offer and either market just, hey, we've got freaking February specials, Valentine's Day specials at this place, and they come in and your special is the contrasting AB, right? Create a higher priced 6-week package that is 7 to 10 times your membership if it were billed weekly. And then the contrast, I don't think I said this originally, absolutely bill weekly. Like make that a weekly number, because $9.99 for the 6 weeks or $9.99 a week sounds a lot better than $9.95 for the 6 weeks or $423 a month, or whatever that number annualizes to. So your contrasting AB should be 6-week, all in full, and then your membership price weekly. But yeah, I would say you could consider running a curiosity-driven ad and starting to test the waters on selling people into the membership using a contrasting AB, or God forbid, just selling, all right, we've got 2 times and 3 times a week. which one makes the most sense. Like that can work too. People do that and are successful with it, and see how that shakes out. Look at the data on your closing. Listen to recordings. Again, if you need sales coaching, things like that, if it's not working out for you, I know a guy, right? I know some folks that are pretty good at helping people do this. On the other side, this may be an easier move. I would start to test out. Don't jump to free 30 days. Do a free 14-day thing, right? Free stuff for reactivations, and that is reactivations both of past clients and reactivations of just unconverted leads that are sitting on your list, are infinitely more effective than random paid things and paid specials. Again, by and large, across the board, can you have a paid reactivation that works? Absolutely. But it's just, we want to give people something that's easy to say yes to on reactivations. And when those leads are oftentimes just like basically cold, dead characters on a keyboard, on a computer screen that like have not been touched and haven't done anything for years, what's the downside to offering, and you can limit the spots, right? Hey, we're opening up 8 spots for free 2-week VIP passes, celebrate Valentine's Day, like whatever. I don't give a shit. Like, it doesn't matter what you want to do. Just offer them something that is reasonably responsible for the business. Okay, so if you're a one-on-one training gym, you're probably not going to do, 14 days or 30 days free. Like, you're burning payroll every time somebody comes into a session. For a group training business, I'm going to get aggressive with a reactivation offer, either to past clients or to my unconverted leads or both, and give that a shot. Serve the hell out of them. See what your conversion looks like on the other side. What I'm guessing you end up finding, if you're pretty good at what you do, and if you've been running LBOs, is that your conversion probably really isn't that different on the back end, right? Meaning your conversion from trial or LBO to member will not likely be that different, but the take rate will likely be way higher. And what that means is you're going to end up with way more cash on the other side when you look up in a month or 2 months and see, what did that campaign do for me? It's like, oh shit, like that's way better than it was when we were running the LBO. So I would test it out as a reactivation first and foremost. If you've got a little bit of cash and you want to see, you know what, I think trying to go free 7 days, trying that 1-2-2 thing we talked about, that makes a lot of sense to me. Give that a shot. You can either try to Netflix close or do a fast action offer, do the 1-2-2. It matters, but it doesn't. Like, so much of this is just trying some shit out and seeing what works for you when you're trying to do it on your own. Again, if you want guidance, by all means, reach out to us. We'd love to help. But yeah, that's what I'd say.
I love it. And I really want to emphasize, if any of our dear listeners are still with us and you are planning on putting any of this into action, please let us know how it goes. And as always, hit us with any questions or comments or feedback that you have. Email us at dave@gymmembermachine.com. You'll see it on the pop-up at the end of this and in the show notes. And GR, any closing words?
I think that's it. Love,
all right.
Hugs. Make sure y'all email Dave. I want to know what y'all want to hear more of, what you want us to deep dive into. Our goal is to make this the most valuable thing for a gym owner's earballs out there on planet Earth. So hope this is helpful. Email Dave with what you want to see more of. Love, hugs. See you in the next episode.